Hello and welcome to Lagos Voices, where we spotlight the issues, opinions and developments shaping the lives of Lagosians. I am Victoria Akonde. Today on the program, we turn our focus to the governance and accountability as the administration of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu marked 2 years in its second term. With a Themes Plus agenda at the heart of its key promises, how far has the government delivered on its commitments? From infrastructure to healthcare, education to youth empowerment, residents and policy experts are weighing in on what's working and what still needs attention. Now let's take a listen to what Lagosians have to say.
2 years into his second term, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu is being measured not just by promises made, but by progress delivered. At the heart of his renewed mandate is the expanded Themes Plus agenda, a blueprint aimed at transforming the state through improved infrastructure, health, education, economic development, and now, a sharpened focus on social inclusion, gender equality, and youth engagement. Since the rollout, several initiatives have taken off, from the upgrade of key road networks, the commissioning of rail lines, to the Ilera Eco Cooperative Health Scheme. These efforts have drawn commendation from some residents who acknowledge a visible commitment to development.
If anybody says Sanwo-Olu is not working, tell the person, which state do you come from? Being your state, let us compare and contrast. Tell me one state that they have blue line, they have red line. Tell me the state. Tell me the state that they have good networking like Lagos. There's no state like that. Lagos is a small place that have even population of Agege is more than population of some state. Population of Ikorodu is more than some state. Then if someone can manage those people in that state, then kudos to him.
To me, I love Lagos, so I wouldn't lie to you. I love Lagos because when it comes to security, maybe with this area I live at Allen here, Ikeja here.
Yeah, it's been doing enough. It's been doing enough, especially in terms of road network, transportation. It's been trying, but he should do more about it.
He's trying. He's doing his possible best. Things are not hard or like other states. So we are appreciating him, just asking him to put more effort to it.
Experts have also offered their assessments, pointing to gains in education and road infrastructure, agriculture, and security. Some attributed his performance to the fact that his predecessors have put in building blocks in place. He has alleviated the mass transit problem in Lagos.
Truth be told, because of the vast amount of resources available to the state, it shouldn't be too difficult to perform if you've got that kind of money at your helm. But I also believe that Governor Sanwo-Olu is benefiting from the fact that many of his predecessors, or all of his predecessors, had put building blocks in place that make it easy to perform. So look, he's inaugurated the train. Of course, the train was started by somebody else. It was started two administrations before his own. Then the last administration left it untouched, and he came back and he completed it, but he gets the credit. Now he's talking about fourth main. Even on the train, apart from the fact that he's inaugurated 2 lines, he's starting to talk about building a third one. I think the green line or something to that effect. He's done the blue, I think he's done the red. He's now talking about the green. So to his eternal credit, he has solved the mass, or at least alleviated the mass transit problem in Lagos, to the point that the trains are now carrying several thousand people per day, which is taking more people off the road and reducing the traffic, reducing carnage, reducing traffic accidents. So that's to his eternal credit. Then he's talking about building a fourth mainland bridge. I understand they've awarded the contract. They've already started compensating people who will lose their homes. So he seems to be an infrastructure governor, especially where transport movement around the city, decongesting the roads of the city, seem to be very important to him. He's also put a lot of money into ferry services so that people can use the waterways to move around as well. Security, he has done very well in terms of making sure that he funds the police through the Lagos State Security Trust Fund, which he met on ground. He didn't start it, he met it on ground, but he has continued to support it. So I think even in agriculture, he's done well. He set up this Lagos State hub where people can go and buy reduced price foods. And his agriculture commissioner is very, very aggressive in pushing the fact that Lagos should be self-sustaining when it comes to food. So I think they're commissioning the Immortal rice mill either this week or next week or sometime soon, which is supposed to be one of the largest rice mills, I think, in West Africa.
Still, concerns linger around areas like the poor condition of local roads, flooding during the rainy season, social welfare, housing, and environmental management, which calls for a more strategic approach to issues such as waste disposal and urban sanitation.
I think he's doing well, but there are some areas of neglect, local roads, inner roads. You get onto the main highways that are federal roads and they are good, but the inner roads that are state roads and local government roads, they are not so good. There's the issues of flooding when it's a rainy season. There's issues of demolishing houses that are built on drainage channels that are built in wrong places. And, it seems though that demolition exercise, while legal, doesn't have a human face, because at the end of the day, most of these people have evidence that they did the right paperwork. So some corrupt government official in a previous administration probably looked the other way and gave them approval. And the government now is saying, you're on a drainage channel, you're responsible for flooding, your house must go. So you look at the waste of investment, you look at the waste of time, you look at the emotional trauma of the homeowner. And I think there should be more of a human face when it comes to addressing these issues. Without a doubt, if a house is on a drainage channel, it is wrong, it should not be there. But there's got to be some sort of cushioning measure as opposed to just take your things out of the house within 24 days, the house is coming down, no compensation, nothing, because you did the wrong thing to begin with. So government has got to have a human face. I also think that social welfare needs to be addressed. There are too many beggars, too many homeless people. When you're in traffic, there are these little children that come and run and tap on your window and they're looking for help. And, so you can tell that there's poverty even here in Lagos. When you go to some places, you see signs of poverty. I'm not sure that this government is doing enough in terms of the downtrodden, the vulnerable, and the less privileged in terms of giving them some form of succor. I'm not sure I've seen too much by way of news in terms of this government trying to do anything about that.
Improving on the infrastructure, particularly road infrastructure in Lagos State. However, they've not done anything with respect to housing. And unfortunately, the government was trying to come up with regulations to regulate how private investors in the real estate can determine what they collect, when even the government itself has not built houses. In the area of environment, this is the truth. It's so hard for people to believe it. I'm not sure this government has done something in terms of the cleanliness and the hygiene of Lagos. That's the truth. Lagos is smelling. I'm a Lagosian. I'm a proper Lagosian, proper Lagos indigene. I'm not what is called an Atahoriwa. So I can speak, and I'm not an obediot. I'm a proper Lagos indigene. Now, Lagos, in terms of the hygiene, the environmental issue concerning Lagos, you have not really done well. And I think that the last 2 years, the government needs to look at it. Look at what Fashola administration did. Look at what Ambode administration did with respect to the environmental issues, waste management, and the rest of it, so that we manage the waste and what have you concerning Lagos. In the area of education, the administration has done pretty well. But I think that overall, if you ask me to score this particular administration, I'll just give them average. I'll score them 50%.
For many Lagosians, the government scorecard remains a mixed bag. While there's appreciation for ongoing reforms, there's also a louder call for action, especially in easing transportation costs, boosting job creation for the youth, and expanding investment in community-based sports and recreation.
I think he has touched many areas I think he should try. Me, I'm from Ikorodu. They are doing many work. Even Jimmy, is it Jimmy Benson? He's also working in Lagos. He's also working in Ikorodu well. But we need Sanwo-Olu to also touch Ikorodu very well. Because as I am like this, if I enter Ikorodu, you will think I'm an elderly person. The dust is much. Although they are working on the road, though, but you should try to work on Ikorodu because we always give them all our vote.
Yeah, he's been doing enough. He's been doing enough, especially in terms of road network, transportation. He's been trying, but he should do more about it.
When it comes to food aspect, transportation, then jobs, because some of these are little. Some doesn't even work. We working are complaining. People that don't work, they have much more to complain.
At the midpoint of Governor Sanwo-Olu's second term, progress is evident, but so are the demands for more. As expectations grow, the coming years will be crucial in turning the Themes Plus agenda into real impacts for Lagosians.
Welcome back. Earlier, we looked at the broader scorecard of the Sanwo-Olu administration, a mix of commendable strides and pressing challenges. Now, we zoom in on one of the most critical issues shaping everyday life in Lagos: housing. Not just the buildings rising across the skyline, but the real question of access and affordability for everyday Lagosians. Now, as Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu commissions 2 new housing projects under the Greater Lagos agenda, the state government is also working on a new rent repayment policy that could bring major relief to tenants. Could this, by chance, be the start of a more inclusive housing future? Let's take a closer look.
In a bid to bridge Lagos' housing deficit, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has commissioned 2 new residential schemes: a 378-unit development in Obele Oniwala, Lawanzin, and a 64-unit 4-bedroom apartments complex in Olaleye Newtown Estate, Iponri. Now known as the Greater Lagos Apartments, these projects are the 21st and 22nd housing schemes delivered under the Sanwo-Olu administration. Built through a public-private partnership with the Lagos Building Investment Company, Mega Mount Investment Limited, and Crown Exquisite Homes, the initiative highlights the impact of collaboration in tackling urban housing challenges. The Obele Oniwala estate, developed on a former 3.7-hectare dump site, is a notable example of urban regeneration. Governor Sanwo-Olu noted that beyond providing homes, the projects have created jobs, supported local economies, and promoted sustainable living.
Very beautiful estate here inside Olaleye in Iponri, and for Spain, Surire, anyhow you want to describe it. You can see that this is Ikoyi inside for Spain.
Yes.
And people are enjoying in this Lagos that I don't even know that this is the level of enjoyment people are having. And it's really a very wonderful, nice neighborhood. And I'm truly excited that I've taken out time to come and do this official commission. And so we're handing over today 64 mansionates of 4-bedroom, each 8 in a block. And you can see the estate has other amenities. It's got a gym room, it's got a small relaxation area, and it's got a lounge, a swimming pool, and everything that can make communal effect work. It's an all-round, and I want to commend Exquisite Home. I want to commend LBIC and by extension Ministry of Housing as well, for all of the collaboration to ensure that we continue to use PPP model to deliver on housing requirements. This will go further to reduce the deficit in the housing. And I was asking them, I'm sure the prices are affordable. They said to me, my ears is affordable. In the other ears, they said to me, they have to look for money to put. So we're praying that it becomes a lot more affordable. But the bottom line is that there's a need And this housing estate has met the need of this neighborhood. And so it is therefore my honor and my privilege to commission and to hand over this unit of mentionate houses that have been drawn on the PPP model between the Crown, Executive Crown, Homes, LBIC, Lagos Building Investment Corporation. They work together and they've been able to deliver this.
When you look at what we have here today, it is a result of collaboration. Mr. Governor has always encouraged that we should not work in silos, that we should work together. From the beginning to the end of this project, we have both Minister of Housing, the LBIC, and the joint venture partner. We have collaborated. Minister of Housing has always been here to give technical input. And if anybody visited this place about 5 years ago, you will know that what we have here is not, it's a major achievement. It's not a joke, because the piling and everything that has to go into this is enormous. And I must also congratulate and thank the joint venture partner for bringing up this. Mr. Governor, sir, your effort in this sector will never go unnoticed. You have given us a lot of encouragement. In housing sector today, under your leadership, we are on 22, and we still have about 4 coming very soon. We are not only serving the low-income earners. We are in Badagry, we are in Epe, and we are also in Ikorodu. As we speak, we are in Egongodo, and Mr. Governor has given us all the cooperation. This year alone, we must be able, he has given us that marching order that we must commission all those 4 projects I mentioned. And you can also see, just as we said, we patronize the high-end individuals, we're also looking out for low-income earners. And if you go to our low-income ends, you see the same kind of facility. Mr. Governor always ensure that you live in a livable environment. If you go to Latif Kadeja Konde or you go to Ibeshe, the same kind of infrastructure. And it's like we use this or the investment here to also cater for the low-income earners.
Here we have here at Olale, we have 64 units of 4-bedroom and so they are all in that class. But at Obele we have 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, and 3-bedroom, all, and it's going to be more of we ensure that every of our projects enjoys the 24 hours light.
Commissioner for Housing, Moruf Akinderu-Fatai, added that the estates reflects the government's commitment to decent, eco-friendly and inclusive housing for Lagosians.
Part of our agenda is to key into the Teams Plus agenda to help reduce home deficit, which we have been delivering since the inception when Mr. Governor came in. Last year, we were able to commission about 2 different projects as well. And this year, by the special grace of God, we are delivering these mega units. And we put into consideration the different classes, the middle class and the low income earners. So when we get to the other end, you see the other project which is about to be commissioned as well.
But while new homes are being delivered, many residents still face the burden of annual rent payments. To address this, the government, through the Commissioner for Housing, Moruf Akinderu-Fatai, in a press statement, says it is finalizing plans to introduce monthly and quarterly rent payment options aimed at easing the financial pressure on low and middle income earners. The initiative builds on the state's rent-to-own scheme with ongoing consultations involving landlords and developers. Though still in development, the policy shift has generated mixed reactions amongst Lagosians.
The yearly is okay. The yearly is okay because if they shift it to monthly, definitely those landlords cannot. If they want to calculate it, that means the rent will be more higher than yearly. Because now if I'm charging maybe 300,000, 400,000, 500,000, 1 million yearly, if you want to calculate it monthly, the landlord cannot tell me that they want to be collecting maybe 120 or this or 50,000 monthly. Definitely the house rent will increase with skyrocket.
Well, you pay yearly, you pay monthly. It's the same thing because they calculate how much you pay in a month and how much that is added it how much you pay in a year. But if it is better to be paying monthly so that you know actual amount that you are paying in a month.
Experts have urged the government to lead by example, suggesting that state-owned estates be made available on monthly rent terms.
How many people do they pay yearly? Wages are paid monthly in Nigeria, they are not paid yearly. It should be a national law. However, charity, they say, begins at home. The housing estates built by government, both at the state and the federal level, should be made available to the citizenry at monthly rates. Let them start it. I recall the governor was the head of Lagos State Housing Development before he became the governor. And our housing estate, which Lagos owns, which was started by Fashola administration, complemented by Ambode's administration. I bought the farm for Igodo. Sanwo-Olu was the head of it before he became the governor. The moment he became governor, they sold the property outrightly. It was meant to be owner occupier. They sold it outrightly, and it's coming after 6 years to talk about telling private investors in real estate on how to go about their business. The question you need to ask yourself is, even he, the governor of Lagos State, how many housing estates has he built? How many? I bought the farm for Igodo, Lagos home in Igodo. I still have all the details and what have you. Before you know it, it was sold outrightly. And that was not the plan. That was not the intention. That was not the policy concerning Lagos. And how many has he built since he's been governor for 6 years in Lagos State? You see, when government is coming up with policies, government must take the lead when it comes to this policy. Otherwise, it's like playing the ostrich. And in my opinion, the government is playing the ostrich in this regard. Because you can't tell private investors in real estate to collect money monthly when you, in your own estate that you build, you collect money outrightly. You can't also tell people that invest in real estate in Lagos State, where you have so many agencies, regulatory agencies, regulating how you build houses. In actual sense, the number of permits you collect, the number of approval, the number of agencies you deal with before you build your house in Lagos State is uncountable. When we were young, it was just one agency. Now you have multiple agencies regulating building in Lagos that you have to go through, yet buildings are collapsing. When we have LSDPC, buildings were not collapsing. When we have so many agencies, that's when buildings are collapsing. It's rather unfortunate, but it is what it is, like they say in modern times.
While some view the plan as long overdue, others emphasize the need for affordability, clear regulations, and enforcement to ensure its success. Combined with new developments like those in Surulere and Igbori, the state government appears to be laying the foundation for a more inclusive housing system, but its success will depend on effective implementation and continued stakeholder engagement.
And that's it for this edition of Lagos Voices. Our scene may be rising, but so are expectations. As the government rolls out new estates and explores rent reforms, the big question remains, will it truly ease the burden for Lagosians? We'll continue to follow the story and bring you updates as they unfold. I am Victoria Akande. Thanks for watching.